Welcome back. Well, the Street Angels feed the homeless 3 nights a week, every week of the year. Not only do they provide a hot meal, they include a lunch for the next day, survival supplies, and lots of socks. In addition, each year the Street Angels become homeless themselves as a fundraiser where they personally spend 48 hours on the street in the same conditions as those they serve. And this year, their goal is to raise $48,000 in 48 hours. So Shelly Saracen and Eva Welch are co-executive directors, and they need your help October 24th through the 26th to reach that big goal. Welcome to you, ladies.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Tiffany, for having us.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks so much for joining me. I think people are going to be like, wait, what? They're doing what? So before we get into the challenge that you're doing and the big fundraiser, just kind of break it down for us a little bit. For people who aren't familiar with you, who are the Street Angels in town?
Well, Street Angels was founded in 2015 by Eva and myself. And we just started loading up my car with supplies and meals and driving them around to people who are experiencing homelessness in Milwaukee. That led us to where we are today. We have 2 buses. We follow a route 3 nights a week. And we are currently serving between 130 and 150 people a night who are experiencing homelessness on the streets. So not only do we provide hot meals and clothing and basic survival needs, we want to be that extension cord to get people connected to permanent housing resources.
I think what you guys do is so important. Homelessness has been something that's been close to my heart for a long time. I helped renovate an old movie theater in college and do a lot of serving meals. And I think anyone who's had the opportunity to work with people who are homeless really do break down a lot of the misconceptions that are out there. And I think the work you do is so incredible. So with winter coming up, I think I do think it pulls on people's heartstrings a bit when we think about a Wisconsin winter. Tell me a little bit about what you're seeing going into the new season and with COVID too.
So, with COVID this year, we know that there aren't going to be any congregate warming rooms. So right now we have 140 people that we know of who are sleeping on the streets, and we don't know where they're going to go when the temperatures drop. We've advocated for many years that everybody should have a right to shelter, especially during Wisconsin winter. And this year we are simply prepared to be unprepared. We'll be loaded with sleeping bags and blankets and enough warm clothing just to help people try to survive. COVID's really had an impact on homelessness in Milwaukee.
And why? What is the main issue? Is it that there's not enough places for people to stay, or why is there not enough space for people in Milwaukee?
So shelters have had to reduce capacity for social distancing, and in order, you can't congregate, you can't have people all together in one room for the risk of getting COVID. So we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place right now, COVID or freezing to death. So the city and the county are working hard to come up with solutions for people on the street. And right now we just don't know what that is, even though temperatures are getting too freezing this week.
I mean, it just breaks my heart. I think it's so tough. Eva, I want to bring you into the conversation as well. When we talk about giving a meal, what do you think that means to people? Because this isn't just, handing out a hot meal for the day. I feel like you guys are giving so much more to people.
Yeah, everything that we provide, everything that we have on those buses, we consider them a tool. Those hot meals help us form relationships with folks. They help us create trust between us and the individual. And when we're able to gain that trust, we're able to lead them down that path that has the resources that can help them get on their feet and get off the streets. And for many that we serve, for them to see this large community of people, many of them are following our social media, and they see people supporting what we do. And they see people loving them from a distance. They see people caring about them. And many times we've seen the care that the Street Angels community gives. It allows people to start opening up and caring for themselves. And we've seen some major changes just from giving people, a meal and a pair of socks. It leads to friendship.
Who are the people? Who is on the streets? Because I think there are so many misconceptions. A lot of people feel, that they're misfits or they're scary people. I saw a lot of veterans, a lot of people who could be your typical neighbor, maybe a mom with kids. Who are you seeing that is living on the streets of Milwaukee?
Well, we always say homelessness does not discriminate. We're seeing people of all ages, ages, all races. I mean, everybody's seen the story about the former NBA player who was homeless on the streets as well. It can literally happen to anyone, especially when you factor in mental health issues. So it doesn't discriminate. We see a little bit of everybody out here. We see people that we can relate to. I often see people that remind me of, they could be my daughter, and that hurts.
I love that you said that because it personalizes it so much for everyone. Let's talk about this fundraiser you're doing, because I'd love to know, where do you get funded from? And then this 48-hour fundraiser you're doing that people are also invited to participate even in their own backyard.
Yeah. So we are actually 100% community funded. We are funded through private donations, philanthropic grants. Bader Foundation is one of our largest supporters, and community partnerships with corporations and churches. So our funding, when we're asking for funding from the community, it's very important because it's what keeps us going. The annual 48-hour fundraiser actually started out as us wanting to know what it was like to be without a home for a day or two. The first time we did it was actually in January. It was completely horrible. We've never done it in January again. But every year now, we actually are requesting our main outreach volunteers to participate for at least 24 hours so they can gain an understanding. We actually had one of our outreach volunteers that joined us say, wow, I really understand the difference between these types of body wipes and these types of body wipes now, and even a toothbrush. She said, I understand the difference between when people ask for a good toothbrush, like I get it now, because she didn't have a good toothbrush for that 48 hours. So the event actually started to become our annual fundraiser in 2018. And the first year we raised $12,000 and we were super duper excited. And last year we raised $26,000. This year our board has challenged us to raise $48,000 in 48 hours. We're a little nervous. There are certain tiers that we have to meet in order to earn luxuries such as a blanket and food. So we do have to earn, I think it's up to like $33,000 to get a change of clothes for that 48 hours. So while we are also experiencing it, we try to make it as real as possible and really feel what they're feeling in a day. And it makes a huge difference to the way that we're able to serve them.
Well, and we're out of time, but Shelley, I just want to close with you. I know that you guys are not doing this in your backyard. You're doing this on the street, but you're inviting people to join you in their backyards. They give to this fundraiser as well. And I just want to know, just in closing, I assume all of the funding then goes back to help the people that you're serving. And obviously this higher amount this year is due to the increased need.
It is. So anyone who wants to participate can go to our website and sign up to take the challenge at www.streetangelsmke.org. Everything does go back into the community, from putting fuel in our buses to supplementing meals and making sure those connections are made 156 nights a year.
You both are incredible. Thank you for the work you do.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. The clock starts ticking October 24th at midnight, 48-hour event, the 24th through the 26th. You can donate or learn more by going to streetangelsmke.org.